Okay, so I need to explain. A long time ago, I worked for the New York Post, and I was put in charge of making a database for all the salary rolls, and I was working my way through it alphabetically. A, uneventful. B, mostly uneventful, and I get to BR, and I come across brass, comma, dick. Brass, comma, dick. I died. It was the funniest thing that a 25-year-old me could have possibly imagined, I think, at that point. And, you know, you gotta hand it to a guy who was born Richard Brass, opting to go with Dick as a nickname, because there's really no other option than Dick Brass. And it's just something that stuck with me, because it sounds to me like the kind of name that a private detective would have. So you got Sam Spade, right? And then you've got Dick Brass, and they're both private dicks, right? Dick Brass, private dick. And I've got a buddy, he was like a brother to me. He's a brother from another mother. And he and I, you know, we've been friends now for over a decade. And last summer I went, well, not last summer, last spring, I went to visit him and his wife and kid. And I told him the Dick Brass story. It was just one of those things that came up. And it became something that we would just say, Dick Brass, just like Dick Brass. And to the point where their 3-year-old daughter started saying Dick Brass, and everybody thought it was hilarious, including her, even though surely she doesn't know what she's saying. But, you know, no harm, no foul. It's just some guy's name. But yeah, so this is his guitar, not Dick Brass's guitar. It's my friend's guitar. And since he and I revel in the humor of Dick Brass together, this is now called the DICK BRASSCASTER. So there you have it. So I had originally intended to use 2 paper and oil new old stock Russian capacitors in this, but some things went awry in my making of the circuit, and it wasn't anything to do with the circuit. It was that the electricity in my apartment is dirty because I live in a 100-year-old apartment building with only 2 leads, hot and ground, and that led me to think that there was some fault in what I did, but it was really just EM interference from the environment. So I did the work, and I undid the work, and I did the work, and I undid the work, and then I finally figured out that there was nothing wrong with the work. And then once I figured that out, I moved on to what you're seeing now, which is that I'm replacing the steel slugs that used to be magnetized by a ceramic bar magnet with alnico rod magnets that I magnetize using 2 honkin neodymium magnets. I used alnico 2 for the neck, alnico 3 for the middle, and alnico 5 for the bridge. But then on request of my friend, I swapped the treble side of the bridge pickup for alnico 2 and the bass side of the neck pickup for alnico 5. So both the neck and the bridge have 2 and 5. So there you go. That's the DICK BRASSCASTER. If you liked it, click like. If you've got a comment, leave it below. And if you've got leave it below. And if you've got some constructive feedback, even better. Okay, so let's look at the camera. So trying to craft an ending is something I will have to work on to get better at, just like all the rest of this. I do want you to know that if you've made it this far, I'm grateful. And if you did like it, please do, please demonstrate that you liked it by clicking all the good buttons. And check out the links in the description. There's some great content there from other creators, and there's also the means by which to support me on Patreon, which would be immensely helpful in allowing me to continue to create media like this. So, thank you. And a special thank you to Chris Grady, whom you might know as Lunar Baboon, who is my oldest friend, and he last week gave me a crash course in Premiere Pro video editing, and without his help this wouldn't have happened. So there's more to come. Stay tuned, and I'll see you soon.